Hello and welcome to this video. I'll be talking about time management, legal contracts, taxes, and banking industry. And as regards grammar, I'll be talking about the second conditional, and finally about negotiating conditions. So let's start talking about time management. Time management is our ability to manage time in a correct way so we don't get burnout or in a way in which would be more efficient, not only for us, but also for the company where we work at or for our own businesses. So there are two types of benefits. The first one is individual. From the personal point of view, organizing our time effectively helps us to set our priorities in order, to provide work of better quality, and to make better decisions, to eliminate procrastination. And then we have organizational benefits. They have to do with the perspective of companies and organizations, designing and applying specific time management strategies results in increasing the level of productivity, the reduction of costs, the improvement of the company's reputation by creating an image of efficiency and reliability. Let's continue with some vocabulary related to time management. Here we have good words that are excellent for your vocabulary. As regards time management, we have plan, schedule. Schedule is British, schedule is American. Spend time, meet deadlines. Okay, this is good when you have a certain deadline at school. So you at school or at university or at work. So you have to meet the deadline. Yes, you have to do things before that deadline. To be on time, to save time, to waste time, then you may have a to-do list, things that are enumerated, things that you have to do, time log, and then you have the planner. Yes, that may be your agenda or some a software that you can use to help you plan out. Okay, let's go on with legal contracts, taxes, banking industry, and economy. I included here these phrases. The first one is illegality of the subject matter. This is when either the subject matter, the sale of illegal drugs, or the consideration of a contract is illegal. Okay? When something is illegal, it means in law that there is illegality of the subject matter. Yes? Then we have the fraud in the inducement. Fraud in the inducement. When I talk about party, it means that there are two parties, okay? One that demands and the other one that defends. When one party is intentionally misled about the terms, okay? When one of the parties give them false information, okay? For example, misled about the terms, quality, or other aspects of the contractual relationship that leads the party to enter into that transaction. Okay, when they omit something or when they make a mistake as regards information. Duress. When one party induces another into entering into a contract by use of threat or force, violence, economic pressure, or other similar means. So when they threatens, okay, when they use this threat of force, threat of violence, okay, do it because if you don't do it, something will happen to you. Economic pressure, it may happen when, I don't know, I think about the fact of a husband and a woman who doesn't work, or someone who doesn't work and of course needs the money, so they are under economic pressure. Yes. So that has to do with duress. And last but not least, lack of legal capacity. when one party does not have the ability to enter into a legal contract. For example, when you are under legal age, for example, a child of 13 or 14 years old cannot go under legal contracts, okay? Or they can't sign for themselves. They need someone else to do it, parents or tutors. Okay, then we have vocabulary related to taxes. I know that the vocabulary related to legal contracts is very specific, but maybe this one has to do with taxes will be more familiar with you because there are different types of taxes. The first one is direct taxes. There is the money taken from a person or company's income. I mean, uh, you earn money, but we take something from that um, money, the one that you earn. Then you have inheritance taxes that people have to pay when they inherit money or a good or a house, something they inherit, but they have to pay for that inheritance. Then we have business rates, the name of the tax that companies pay for using property and land. Okay? They generally pay that to the state, to the government itself. Indirect taxes, taxes which are added to the price of a product or service. The income tax, the name of the tax taken out of a person's salary and wage. This is a very heated point here in Argentina, the income tax. Then we have the council tax, the tax which you pay for living in a house or flat. And last but not least, excise. I don't know the pronunciation of this word. Wait a minute. This is excise. Yes, very good. Excise duty. A tax like value added tax, which companies have to pay when they sell certain types of products, specific products. Yeah. Okay. And then we have some words related to banking industry and economy. The first one is worth. Worth. It is the amount of money that you should get or obtain if you sold something. Overpaid. It means when you pay more money for something that you have bought, and it is generally more money than you should. Okay, I don't know if you have to pay 20 and you pay 25, well, you overpaid 5 pesos or dollars or euros. Value, the amount of money that you should get obtained if you sold something. You can also make a loss when you sell something for less money than what you bought it for. I bought it for 20 and I sell it for 15. So you make a loss. You made in the past a loss of $5, pesos or euros. You can make profit when you sell something for more money than what you bought it for. I bought it for 20 and I sell it for 30. I made a profit of 10 euros, pesos, dollars, whatever. The cost, it's the quantity of money, and charge, the quantity of money you have to pay to use a service. What's the charge of it? Okay, now I'm going to explain to you the second conditional. We have already studied the first conditional, but now let's go on with the second conditional. I think that there is no need for you to understand again the if condition and result. Anyway, remember that the condition refers to a situation or event that has to happen first, whereas the result is the consequence of that condition. So as regards the second conditional, we have first the if, but we have the past simple. And then we have would, okay? We have would. This would will have the verb in the base form. Would go, would speak, would read, would watch. Remember in the first column. For example, if we didn't have money, we would work. If you didn't work hard, your boss would not promote you. Something that is important to mention here is that the second conditional is used with phrases that are always unreal. Okay, unreal situations. These situations are not real. You may have the other way around. First of all, the result and then the condition. For example, we would live in Canada late if we could choose. He would tell you the story if he knew it. Something that, again, I have to mention is that if there is an if, the comma wouldn't be here. Okay? It shouldn't be here. It should be like in the second example. If he knew it. Remember that the if is working as a pause in the discourse production. And then we have the second conditional for questions. We have first the WH words, the would, the subject, and the verb. Where would you go if you had a lot of money? Where would you go if you had a lot of money? I want you to notice that the if is in green, that the past simple is used in all the examples in orange, and then that the part with would is in gray. So that will help you recognize the structure of the second conditional. Well, this is the end of this part of the video. See you in the following. Thank you very much for paying attention to me.